south of Nashville in Murfreesboro, about an hour and 20 minutes from here. I'm here because I won the Tennessee Pork Producers National Chef Pork Competition. It was a few weeks ago in Murfreesboro. There were about 11 people that competed. I made a pork neck and a pork belly dish, and that's not what I'm making today. So, does anybody know what sous vide cooking is, or using an immersion circulator? So that's what this little contraption is. Who had a fish tank growing up? Anybody have a fish tank now? Great. So you have to make the water a certain temperature for fish to live successfully. This is basically a heater for this water right here. Pork needs to get cooked to an internal minimum temperature, generally of 140, 145. However, low temperature pasteurization is a thing that works. So this water is set to exactly 135 degrees. And I have 2 pork chops in a bag with some oil, some salt, some pepper, and some thyme leaves. And it's been cooking for about 35 minutes. I'm gonna let it go for about another 10. I'll take it out, I'll pat it dry on some paper towels, and then I'll give it a nice sear in a pan with some oil and butter, and it'll be beautiful. It'll be perfect end to end, no variation, not overcooked, juicy, succulent. It's a great way to cook all kinds of things. Chicken, my wife can cook with this, which to me that's a win, because she makes a lot of meatballs and tacos, and so she can put a piece of fish in here at 115 degrees and walk away for an hour, and when she comes back, it's perfectly cooked. There's no cleanup. It's just a pot of water that you just throw down the drain. So it's super, super easy. So I'm going to make this pork chop with a butternut squash puree. I've got some apples that I poached in white grape juice with some juniper berries and some star anise and some cloves. I'm going to reduce that down. And then I've made some dehydrated Brussels sprout leaves that I baked between 2 pans in the oven for about 7 hours. And then we have some leeks that I wrapped in aluminum foil and just charred on a gas burner for like 6 minutes. And I'm going to reheat those in some butter. And that's pretty much it. It's going to be real simple. The only seasoning I have is salt and pepper because everything that I bought was good. So I don't have to really alter it or do anything crazy to it since the ingredients were delicious and fresh and super simple. So the butternut squash, I just put about a 1/4 cup of water and 3 tablespoons of butter in here and basically just steamed it for about 15-20 minutes. And I'm going to put it in this mixer, this blender, and I'm just going to blend it up. So we'll go ahead and knock that out of the way.
Butternut squash is one that goes like that.
Yeah, it's like the hardest vegetable on earth.
It's delicious.
It is delicious, but it's incredibly hard to cut and peel. If you microwave it for about 2.5 minutes, it gets easier to handle. Yes. And anytime you're working with a vegetable that's really awkward like that, best thing to do is to try to kind of cut off the ends and give it a stable, flat surface to where you can stand it up so it won't roll on you. Otherwise, it can be incredibly dangerous. Anytime you're pureeing hot things, we'll use a towel. Pretty simple. Needs a little bit of salt. And I'm going to add some lemon juice to it just to kind of brighten it up. Acid is very important when you're cooking. Everything needs to have a little bit of life to it. A little bit of acid, lemon juice, vinegar. Really kind of helps bring some flavors to life. You don't have to over salt it. You don't have to over season it. This is just butternut squash, water, butter, salt, lemon juice. Real simple. The best thing about a blender of this nature is that you can actually put raw vegetables and water in here and turn it on high, and it will make vegetable soup in about 3 minutes. This will bring the water to a boil. The RPMs are so fast that you can basically just boil water in your blender and make soup. So really good way to do that. That's just going to stay in there, stay warm. And I'm going to finish my sauce. This is just chicken stock that I've reduced. It was about 3 cups. That's what it is right now. I'm going to have a little butter in this pan. I'm going to sweat some shallots, add this chicken stock, and then I'm going to reduce it down until it gets a little bit more syrupy and thick. And that's going to be my sauce for the entire dish. So the pork's been going for about 45 minutes. And I'm actually going to cut it off the bone. Just want to make sure I dry it off really well. I want to get it nice and brown in the pan. Moisture, any kind of moisture you have will completely take away from the browning part of it. You want the sugars and the proteins to caramelize. And if there's moisture around, it won't do it. Obviously, as it looks now, it's not very attractive. It's just like this pink piece of gray meat. Nobody wants to eat that. But after a few minutes in the pan, it'll be brown, caramelized, and beautiful. So I'm going to get my pan hot. And I've got my butter melted, put my shallots in there. And the biggest thing about cooking that a lot of people don't do is they don't season as they go. Every time you add an ingredient to a pot or pan, you want to add a little bit of salt. You're creating these depths of flavor, these layers of flavor. And if you just add salt all at the end, you don't have this well-rounded dish. You just have this dish that kind of tastes salty, but not really that great. So you want to just add little bits here and there as you go. So this pan is getting hot. And I add a little bit of oil.
Olive oil?
That is just canola oil. Olive oil has a very low smoke point, and it tends to denature in the pan, and it actually releases some free radicals that aren't very good if you take olive oil to a certain temperature. So grapeseed, canola oil, those are your best oils for sauteing and cooking. Olive oil and extra virgin olive oil, really good for finishing dishes. We have a great store in my town called the Epicurean Olive Oil Store. They've got all kinds of great olive oils. This bottle is $23. So it's extremely expensive, but you just don't need to use that much of it. I mean, just a little bit goes a long way. This is a roasted onion olive oil, and this is just a champagne vinegar, which I'm going to add to this sauce to give it a little bit of acid, just like everything else. So I'm going to wait till my pan is smoking to add my pork, and then I'll turn the heat down. And it'll take about 4 minutes in the pan, 2 minutes on each side. These apples that were poached in the sparkling grape juice, I'm just going to reduce the syrup, and I'm going to add a little knob of butter to that, and they'll be glazed. So the pan's smoking. I'm Add a little bit of salt. That's going to cook about 2 minutes on that side. I'll add some butter, flip it over. And 2 minutes on the other side. Does anybody have any questions so far about anything that I'm doing? Nope, everybody's good. Pretty straightforward. So sauce is coming up to a boil. Yeah, I'm sorry, these are pears. The pears, the juice is reducing. This pork is getting caramelized. My Brussels sprout leaves are already ready to go. Biggest part of cooking is proper prep. All this was done, putting this together will take 15, 20 minutes. None of it was very complicated. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How many of you cook at home? Everybody. That's great. If my wife was sitting in the audience, she'd be like, we eat out of a lot of to-go boxes. She loves tacos, and by loves tacos, I mean she picks tacos up from our local taco shop. And I'm not speaking poorly of her. If she was sitting here, she would agree with me. She's great. See? Now it's starting to look a little bit better.
How long would you cook your pork if you don't have the light cooking?
I'm sorry?
How long should you cook your pork if you don't have the light cooking before you brown?
If I don't have the what?
The light.
Oh, this? If you just did it in a pan, on the bone, you'd want to sear it on both sides.
Put it in the
And
oven.
then you probably put it in a 400-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. So I've added a little bit of butter. Put these leeks in here just to get them warm. They're already cooked, so I just want to warm them up. And then the best way to continue to add flavor to your pork is to push your pork up towards the end of the skillet, let all the fat run down, and then just baste it. That also helps the meat cook on both sides because the heat is affecting it from the top and the bottom. This is looking awesome. Turn the leeks off. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper to my pork. I don't usually add a lot of pepper at the beginning of cooking. Pepper tends to burn, and if it's burning in the pan, it starts to get acrid in flavor. It just tastes burned. It kind of ruins the overall complexity of your dish. So we've got our leeks. Apples are almost done. You can see the syrup has reduced. Oh, sorry, the pears. I'm thinking they're apples for some reason. Not sure why. Pork looks great. I'm going to let it sit here and rest. Sauce is good. Apples. Turn that off. Add a little knob of butter to the apples. Off the heat. And then swirl it in. By doing that, you're allowing the butter to emulsify. And since it's not directly on the heat, it's not splitting. It's turning back into cream. And it's going to glaze my apples and give them this really nice shine. Did I call them apples again? Man, wow, I'm having a hard time with those apples. Pears.
We know what you know.
So they're pears, no matter how many times I tell you apples.
How much does something like that light thing cost?
This particular one was $179. They have some for $99. The best thing about this one for me, these are amazing, and I'll explain why. We do a lot of catering. I'm in the process of opening a restaurant right now. But we do a ton of catering, and we feed 150 to 250 people. Last night we did 400. This little thing right here can heat 10 gallons of water and hold it consistently there for 10 days with no variation in temperature. Now obviously when you put cold meat in there, the temperature drops. So let's say somebody hires me to do a wedding and they want all of their guests to have New York strips, medium rare. That's incredibly hard to do 200 times or 150 times consecutively and get a perfect result. So I'll take this and one more and I'll have a gigantic pot or an igloo cooler and I'll have 150 New York strips in plastic bags with bay leaves and butter and thyme, and I'll cook them for 1 hour and I pull them out and I set them on a 500-degree grill for 35 seconds. And they're perfectly charred on the grill and they're perfectly cooked all the way through. It's an amazing thing. I mean, it saves my life and it makes food great. You can also, I've cooked creme brulee in here, I've cooked eggs in here, I've made, who knows what pulled pork is? Everybody, right? Mostly Boston butt is only good for pulled pork because it's such a tough cut of meat. If you take a Boston butt and you cook it in this for 3 days, right, you completely render down all of the connective tissue, the ligaments, the tough muscle joints. You can take it from there and put it in an ice bath and it'll solidify and you can cut it into steaks. And then you take a pan like this, a little bit of oil and butter, take one of those steaks, sear it off, and you can cut it with a spoon. So you've made a 99% pound piece of meat taste like something that costs $6.99 a pound. It's amazing. And it's the ease of cooking, the beauty of cooking. It's just so logical and so great. It takes a lot of guesswork out. Tons of restaurants are using them now. It just makes life a lot easier. The control is easy. So all of that sauce is reduced to a 1/4 cup. I'm going to take it a little bit further. And once it's where I want it, I'm going to add a little bit of the champagne vinegar and then some butter. Butter's going to give it that nice shine. Delicious taste.
Butter and bacon.
Butter and bacon. When I die and Jesus takes me home, that should be my life. Butter and bacon. And a little bit of fried chicken.
Oh, yeah.
But I have to watch it. I have to go easy on the fried chicken. So I'm going to heat my puree up. Sauce is great. Add a little bit of butter. Swirl it in. Add a splash of vinegar. And as it cools, it will thicken. Bless you. All right. So now the fun part. This up here. Leeks. I'm going to take this leek, I'm going to dip it in these chives. Kind of cute. Stick it right there. And this other one, let me see right here. And I've got these little Brussels sprout leaves. Kind of add some of that earthiness. Our apples. You can see how pears, man alive. You weren't here, I don't know what I've been doing. Good grief. You can see how thick and syrupy this has gotten. Got some pickled mustard seeds. These have been sitting in this pickle liquid for about 1.5 years. Champagne vinegar, sugar. You don't want many. Just right there. I'm going to put a little bit of salt. This is a Maldon sea salt. Very, very, very flaky. I'm going to take a spoonful of these chives. I'm just going to set them kind of in a mass right there. My sauce. And I've got some of these microgreens that come from a place called Chef's Garden in Ohio. You've got some baby beet greens called bull's blood. Some shiso. Some red vein sorrel, which tastes kind of like a green apple. Actually an apple, not a pear. It actually tastes like an apple. And this is really up to your discretion about how much you want to add. And a little bit of radish sprouts. And there it is. If I hold it up, all the sauce is going to run. Y'all are more than welcome to come up.